We're back in the no cap zone where we have a strict dress code. Knock it off with that capping shit. Everybody's been all about that capping shit. Here, we ain't with none of that at all. Period. So, yeah. So my family did not even pay attention at all to this video because they didn't want to know. They didn't want to know what aliens could look like because they don't want to know nothing about aliens. They don't want to know anything about reality. They don't want to see anything that could potentially conflict with their belief system because at the end of the day, they don't want to know anything other than things that pertain to their belief system. That's what it is. And this is what Americans are like nationwide. They don't want to know. They don't want to properly know and understand things. I have engaged in so many debates with theists all around the country, in person, online, whatever. And if there are any that have some kind of scientific understanding, most of the time they try to use this science against science and try to use this science to propel their bullshit ideology. That almost always tends to be the case. Whoever's here, thank you for the like. It's probably you, Silk. I know you. But say what's up. Let me know that you're here because I don't see any comments at all. Yo, YouTube, you need to get your shit together. There is no reason this should be the constant case that TikTok is kicking your ass because you fail to improve upon your infrastructure. I'm still not seeing the comment at all. Like, this is okay. Oh, Penny, what's up, Penny? What up? What up? Welcome back. Thank you for coming through. My bad for doubting you. But yeah, so I mean, these are the issues that we see on a constant basis that people nationwide don't want to know. They don't want to know. They don't want to know the truth. They absolutely hate truth. They hate facts. They hate anything that coincides with their belief systems. And that's why we have to have these conversations. That's why we're at the point that we're at now. That's why we're at the point where we can't just have these conversations on TikTok and continue to build our following, continue to build our movement, because these institutions don't want us to. Oh, you got kicked out? That's whack as hell. Thank you for coming back, my dude. Yeah, YouTube's infrastructure is pissing me off. So thank y'all for coming back, because I couldn't see y'all comments. So please hit that like button. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like button. Show your brother some love so that we can continue to try to grow on YouTube somehow. But yeah, man, like, this is why, thank you, appreciate it. This is why we have the issues that we have as an American nation. We have far too many among us, not only who are scientifically illiterate, but they're happy to be scientifically illiterate. They love not knowing shit. They love thinking that not thinking is the greatest thought pattern you can have. That not learning, that not thinking, that not being educated, that not educating oneself is somehow morally superior than education. They think that their fucking ancient sci-fi fantasy comic book is somehow better than every science textbook where we have discussed human knowledge and that have helped to improve human collective knowledge. Theism has not added to the human wisdom to the human knowledge base in the modern age. They have not innovated anything. They have not helped us discover anything. They have not cured any disease. They have not innovated some new technology that helps us in this tangible, meaningful way, that helps to progress humanity in any way. In fact, they promote ignorance. They promote stupidity. They promote laziness. Hey, let's not do anything and just say we did. Instead of actually trying to put our heads together so we can solve these various problems in real ways that are actually tangible, that are actually measurable by some metric, instead they say, let's just close our eyes, put our hands together, and talk out loud and say, please, 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 Jesus, 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 please, please help us. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It has never worked. It will never work. Y'all have had thousands of years to demonstrate to us that it indeed works. And now the evidence is in. It don't work. It don't. Knock it the hell off. If it worked, you could show us that it works. You can show us how theism is solving all these various problems. You can show us how theism is helping to prevent mass shootings, prevent diseases, prevent birth defects, genetic defects. How theism can help solve substance abuse, can help solve psychological disorders, can help stop or prevent sexual abuse all over the nation. But what do we see? As a matter of fact, in many religious institutions, abuse is rampant, being caused by the religious leaders, or the clergy, or the staff members, or just people that are among the congregations, or all of the above. We see it all the time. All the time. The Catholic Church alone has a storied history throughout the entire world for eons of being directly responsible for so many abuses literally around the world. Here in Chicago and other municipalities throughout the nation and literally other countries throughout the past several centuries. The Catholic Church by itself, that they have pretty much become a criminal organization where they protect those who commit the abuses instead of having them brought to justice for their fucking crimes. And these are the people that claim they have this direct connection to this superpower Superman, super intelligence thing, whatever the fuck they claim it to be. If that was the case, then why do we see these institutions being directly responsible for these problems and failing to solve these problems all around the world? If these institutions were so great, why do these problems persist? Why haven't thoughts and prayers seemed to figure out how to work yet? I've never seen a thought or a prayer stop a bullet ever. Never. In fact, I've seen people pray and then get shot and then die. A lot. Happens a lot. I've literally watched it happen in some of these gore videos I've seen online. I've heard stories from people around here who have committed the acts, who have described before killing someone the things that happen. I don't see theism stopping any of this shit. Like I said, somebody got shot over here, right over here, the other day. I don't see Christianity, Islam, Hinduism stopping any of it at all. I don't see them coming up with ideas for how they can totally, schmotally solve these problems that actually work. I don't see them coming up with actual solutions that actually work, that show us that they work, that fix anything. And that's another aspect. The fact that these religious beliefs are nothing short of death cults, death worship. They love death. They love looking forward to death. They love comforting themselves with death. They love telling themselves that if they live a nice life, they're going to go to the nice, happy place, and that everything is going to be totally smooth. That does not solve the fucking problem. In fact, why do we have to die in the first place? Why can't we figure out how we can improve our lives, improve our quality of life, improve the length of our lives, improve the ability of us to survive and to be impervious to the various threats of nature, so that we as humans can have an actual supernature and not just hoping and wishing that it magically fucking happens? Because the whole fact of the matter is that hoping and wishing, hoping and wishing, and hoping and wishing never solved shit. You can hope and wish all you want. I hope that $1 billion magically appears into my checking account tonight by 7 p.m. That does not mean that that will happen. I can hope, please, please, universe, please, stars, make $7 billion appear in my fucking Chase checking account. Please. Please, 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 please. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I mean, it could. It could. I could randomly check my checking account. Yeah, exactly. And then there's some glitch. There's some glitch where, oh, I have all this money now. Exactly. And that's another huge issue about theism. They always love to use that, the fucking the random correlation causation fallacy, right? Like, oh, somebody gets cancer, they pray and somebody's cancer goes to remission. Yay! Ain't God good? Isn't the Lord so amazing? Okay, then why doesn't that happen in every case? As I've told y'all before, I had an uncle, may he rest in peace. Uncle P. He had a bad heart, bad kidneys, needed a transplant. Obviously, spoiler alert, he never got it. He ended up being in a coma, going to a coma. The family sent out a message. Please, everybody, pray for Percy. Please pray for Percy. He's not doing well these days. He just went into a coma and he's had all these health issues. Blah, 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 blah. We gotta do everything, fam. So, obviously, people prayed. They prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And then my uncle woke up the next day. Yay! Percy woke up. Isn't the Lord so amazing? Thank God. Thank God. God, isn't God so good? God so good. God is so good. And then the next day, he fucking died. He died. And I had to go to the fucking funeral at the fucking church, listening to all this church ass shit, while watching my cousins crying in despair because they just lost their father. And all that churchy shit. Didn't solve shit. Didn't make him feel better at all. Over some shit that he could have probably survived if he could have gotten the transplant that he needed. If we as a society put more effort into trying to figure out how to solve these problems, using our wisdom, using the tools we have available, instead of people just hoping and wishing and praying, hoping and wishing and praying, hoping and wishing and fucking praying. For fucking what? What the fuck does that shit do? What the hell does it solve? My uncle is dead. Dead. He ain't coming back. You can pray and wish all the fuck you want. He is not coming back. And science could have potentially saved him. If we put our collective effort into pushing for scientific endeavors, instead of wasting so much precious time and precious resources into this sci-fi fantasy fucking bullshit. Exactly, Jay. And that's one of the reasons why I liken theism to the simulation hypothesis. Because as far as I'm concerned, theism is just a low-rent version of the simulation hypothesis. It's this belief that there's some super grand designer in the sky that designed everything, that has all the understanding, all the knowledge of reality, right? And so what I say is, if there is a grand designer in the sky, this grand designer would have to be a Kardashev Type 4 being or civilization or whatever the fuck, which means that it has a total understanding of the laws of physics, and if it's a simulation, it has a total understanding of the underlying code, whatever the fuck that would be. If there was a grand designer, that would mean that this grand designer understands the design, it understands physics, it understands material science, it understands biology, human biology, astrobiology, which means that it would understand how to solve these various issues, which means that if theists were trying to be God-like, then they should choose to want to understand science, that they should want to understand physics and understand biology and material science and shit like that. Because clearly the Lord does, because the Lord, the super Kardashev Type 4 being in the sky, would be able to. So why do these people not want to do that? Why would they want to worship an entity that supposedly doesn't want that? How the fuck does that make sense? Because the whole point is that if there is some super Kardashev Type 4 being, civilization thing out there, that means that it is possible for us to become that thing. So we should be working together interdependently with synergy to become that thing, to actually become that in real life, instead of sitting on our hands and knees, praying and praying and hoping and hoping and praying and hoping and praying and hoping that magically this information just finds us somehow, that this information pops into our minds somehow. When theists have demonstrated they don't even want to know these things to begin with. In fact, they would rather stand in the way of these things. I've never seen the Taliban create some new innovation. I've never seen ISIS make some new scientific discovery. I've never seen the Westboro Baptist Church invent some new device that greatly improved humanity in any tangible, meaningful way. I've never seen these organizations accomplish anything positive at all. Period. At all. Let alone any fucking religious institution. Matter of fact, any of these religious institutions that are around me. The original Church of Jesus Christ, the Liberty Temple Full Gospel Church, Anointed by Christ Church, the First Church of Love and Faith that's down the street from me, the other church in front of that church, or any of these fucking weak ass churches. I've never seen them solve anything. I've never seen them invent anything. I've never seen them fix anything. I've never seen them discover anything. I've never seen them come up with some new anything. A new invention, a new medicine, a new surgical practice, a new piece of information, a new discovery that helped us understand shit. They definitely don't. Hit the like button, by the way. Thank you. Yeah. And it's not just the Taliban. It's all these motherfucking institutions. They don't care about shit but their own survival. Yeah. Advancement is a threat to them. But see, that's the point. That's literally the point. Advancement is a threat to them. Because the more we advance, the more outdated these beliefs become. That is the point. That's why these belief systems are evil. Because for them to survive, for them to persist, they need people to be ignorant. They need people to be willfully ignorant. Otherwise, these institutions cannot persist. They can't continue to exist. They can't continue to make money. They can't continue to gain followers. That's why when I'm watching the Chicago Bears on Sundays, I am subjected to religious advertising. Yeah. Exactly, fam. Why is Oklahoma the last in education? And why is that something to celebrate? Why would so many people celebrate being uneducated, being the least educated? Why is that something to aspire to in the modern age where information is the most valuable resource there is? How the fuck does not knowing shit help us as a society? And how is it that these institutions, these ideologies, these belief systems that hinder our ability to learn, to understand, to figure things out, how do they help us at all? How do they help us at all? Exactly, because the churches love it. They love it because that means more money for them. They need the money because they need to survive. The individuals that run them need to ensure that their way of life continues, that it persists, that they can continue making the money so they can continue, because they don't really contribute anything to society. They don't help society in any tangible, meaningful way. The people that run them don't help society in any tangible, meaningful way. Other than little things they might run a scholarship. They might help some people get jobs here or there. They might employ some people or whatever. But they're not doing anything that actually helps society, that actually helps further society, that helps contribute to the advancement of society, that helps contribute to survival of humanity. That is why theism in the modern age in particular is evil. I understand 2,000 years ago. I get it. 2,000 years ago, most people didn't understand, hey, wash your fucking hands. They're filled with these things called germs. We get it. People didn't know shit about fuck. It was a time where people had no idea what was going on. So they needed something to give them some kind of purpose. They needed something that gave them some kind of understanding that made them feel okay. So 2,000 years ago makes sense as to why they subscribe to these ideas. But it's 2024 AD now. It's 2024 AD, which means now we have these technologies. Now we have these understandings. Now we have medical institutions and all types of chemistry, biology, cosmology, all these different institutions that are at the forefront of helping us to discover and uncover the secrets of existence, the secrets of the cosmos, the secrets of our own biology, our own existence, our own brains, the things that we think and believe and understand. We're beginning to understand more about ourselves as a result of the scientific method. And the more that we understand, the less and less and less and less sense theology makes, theism makes, theistic ideas make, religious apologetics makes. Because at the end of the day, they can try to make sense of their ridiculous ideas, but at the end of the day, they have nothing at all to demonstrate, period. If there's a theist at some point in history, say an Isaac Newton, that came up with some great idea, it was despite their religious belief and not because of it, not as a direct result of it. That is the point. That is the point. But people can't show us that actually believing in religious shit directly helps humanity in any way. And because of this, that's what makes it evil now. Because now that we know that these ideologies contribute nothing to humanity, for people to persist in perpetuating these ideas is pretty much knowingly evil. Because again, what are we hoping to accomplish? In the grand scheme of time, in the grand scheme of reality, at the end of time, what is it that we as a human race are hoping to accomplish by the end of it all? As I always say, I venture to say our goal should be to understand as much as we can about everything, because this understanding, this wisdom, empowers us to manipulate our reality to our collective benefit, to help us create a well-functioning society for ourselves on our quest to moving up on the fucking Kardashev scale. Yeah. Yeah, Jesus, totally. Yeah, as soon as he said that, I knew everybody was gonna jump on it. I knew everybody was gonna jump on it because it was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. But hey, it was the line of the night. But see, this is the thing. Neither party, and I wasn't even going to go here, but we could go here. Neither of the parties has any concept of healthcare that they're working on. Neither of them. As a matter of fact, neither of the two candidates really talked about policy much at all the whole night. Kamala said something about giving $6,000 to new families and $50,000 to startup businesses. Cool. Nice. There are so many issues that face humanity right now. I didn't see any of them say anything about climate change at all. And I definitely didn't see either of them talking about anything concerning the Kardashev scale at all. There was a lot of mudslinging, a bunch of fucking bullshit, but hardly any real vision. They didn't give us any real vision for humanity, for America. Just a bunch of bullshit talking points. Trump says he's going to cut taxes, he's going to improve border security, whatever. The real questions are, why do we even continue to think like that, that we need to have borders when we've become such a global society? The fact that we're having wars of nations when we need to be working together to improve humanity as a whole. Where we start thinking globally, where we start thinking cosmologically, whatever the fuck the term is. You know how they say sky's the limit? Why the fuck would we limit ourselves to the sky when there's a whole cosmos out there? All these billions of galaxies. Billions of fucking stars in each galaxy. Stars and fucking planets and moons and shit. But we're gonna limit ourselves to the sky. The fuck is that shit? See, the fact of the matter is we need to start thinking long term. And we need to start thinking practically concerning what the fuck we should be doing, how we need to be moving forward henceforth. Using logic, reason, fact-based evidence, empathy, and STEAM, as opposed to bullshit-ass religion. Because as it stands, theism is holding us back. The fact that people would rather read the same old ancient sci-fi fantasy comic book rather than actually learn some kind of science. And CJ, that's the reason why I created the no cap zone. It's not just a clever fucking title, a clever saying. It's the idea that why the fuck would we put a cap on what humanity is capable of? Why does theism choose to want to put a cap on what humanity is capable of by saying, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. Why are we trying to be like God? That's bad. We're trying to play God. Even though they talk about being like God, being as close to God as possible, but then turn around and be like, no, we shouldn't be like God at all. We should be stupid as fuck. Why don't we work towards not knowing shit and just saying we know it all? Okay, sure, we can't cure cancer, so we'll just say, yeah, it's God's will. Yeah, that's the ticket. It was God's will. It was God's will, and therefore we shouldn't do a goddamn thing to try to figure it out. That's laziness. I'm sorry to break it to theists. That is lazy. I know that science is hard at times. Trust me. I get it. Science can be difficult. That's why we have a nation of people that are failing miserably at the math and sciences. Because it's hard. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it. But see, the issue is, it doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be. The fact of the matter is that these institutions and these individuals are making things harder than they need to be. They're actually working to overcomplicate these situations. They're working to overcomplicate these topics and make it seem like it's to a point that even the AI chatbots want to act like this is such a difficult topic. It's so like oh my God, it's so difficult. There's so much nuance, and we have, no, there's not. It's really not that difficult at all. The fact of the matter is that theism doesn't help us at all. As a matter of fact, it hurts us. If we can recognize that climate change is probably our biggest existential threat, then why do we have so many people who don't even believe it even exists to begin with? Why do we have so many people who refuse to contribute to finding actual solutions to the problem? You mean to tell me we're a nation of 300 plus million fucking people that we don't have enough to figure out new solutions? I'm not saying everybody has to be a scientist, right? Because obviously everybody can't be a scientist. But why can't we all be contributing to scientific endeavors? Why is it that even questioning theism and theistic institutions is somehow like the worst thing in the world? Because we don't believe that they are contributing positively at all to solving these various issues. Why is it that we can't even talk on TikTok because we might offend some religious person and then want to cry and bitch and moan? But see, that's the thing, Jay. Like, weather modification is an aspect of science that allows us to gain an understanding, gaining control of the planet. And if we're to advance along the Kardashev scale, then weather modification is a part of that. Mastering nature. Why would we want to leave things up to chance? Why would we want to leave fucking weather events to chance or to God? When we can gain control of the earth, when we can gain control of the weather patterns of earth, if it's possible to do, why the fuck would we not want to make it happen? Why would we not want to gain an understanding of how weather events work so that we can actually utilize these things to our benefit? So that if there's some nation that's experiencing a drought, okay, well, let's try to make it rain over there. Or if there's a nation that's experiencing too much rain, we can say, hey, let's make it stop raining over there so that we can actually maximize the quality of life for us all, so that we can actually push our environment to peak optimal levels. That is the problem I have with theism. They don't want that. They don't care about that. They'd actually rather we die. They would rather that we die. They'd rather say, you know what? If we all die, then it's just God's will, and then we'll go to the nice, wonderful, happy place where we can worship the Lord all day, all night, and solve nothing. Why is that ideal? Why is that their goal? Why is that their fucking optimization method? Nothing. Doing nothing and hoping we go somewhere when we don't even know if there's even a such thing as an afterlife to begin with. I ask theists all the time, if I showed them a picture of the ultra deep field from Hubble, from the James Webb Space Telescope, where in that is heaven, hell, Jesus, the devil, God, Satan, any of that shit, angels, demons, all that shit. Where is all that shit? Where exactly is this shit? A lot of times they want to make excuses, bullshit ass excuses. Oh, it's outside space and time. Oh, it's not really like penetrable or acknowledgeable or discoverable or detectable by any scientific means. But the thing is, if these things were part of reality, then it would be detectable by science because it's real. And the whole point of science is to understand reality as it is. So if there's some aspect of reality, if there's some other realm or other fucking whatever the fuck dimension of some kind, shouldn't science be able to discover it? Shouldn't science be able to detect it? Shouldn't science be able to find it? Wouldn't it be detectable? Because if these people claim that there's this thing that's out there, then science should be able to find it. That should be even more motivation for theists to support science, because if their belief was true, science would prove it. If their belief system was true, science would prove it. So shouldn't that motivate them to want to support the sciences, to want to go into the fields of science, to contribute to scientific endeavors, because it would only serve to prove their point? But see, here's the problem. They know it will never prove their point. They know that their beliefs don't comport with reality, because if their beliefs comported with reality, then the sciences would be the thing that they love the most. They'd be talking about it all the time. They'd be at the forefront of innovation. They would be at the forefront of new discoveries. They would be the ones to help innovate new technologies that bring us closer to God. But as you said, Jay, they hate science. They can't stand science. They literally don't want to know shit about fuck. They love not knowing shit. They love trying to argue against science. Exactly. I was just going to say that. Oh, do you believe in the big, like the fact that they even frame it like that, that we believe in the Big Bang, even though there's evidence right now, even though we have the cosmic microwave background radiation right now, that's detectable right now. Right now, that we can see the universe accelerating in its expansion because of our constant observation of shit. And these theologians have not a goddamn thing to present at all but bullshit pseudoscience, ancient sci-fi fantasy, action adventure comic books that demonstrate to be completely divorced from the reality that we actually inhabit. That's why it becomes so fucking difficult for us as a nation, for us as a species, to make improvements, to make discoveries, to adequately, sufficiently address the various issues socially, environmentally, cosmologically that we face as a human race. It's to a point now where they're doing everything possible to obscure the truth. Which is why it's so difficult for us to get a foothold in making sensible fucking policies, making sensible decisions as a human race, as an American nation, to improve the world. To where we have leaders that actually are working to make the world a better place. People who, instead of blowing smoke up everybody's asses and trying to look presidential, giving these goofy looks, how could he say that when he said this the other day? That's why I'm the best possible leader, even though you didn't give us nothing. $6,000 for new families, cool. $50,000 for startup businesses, cool. What about climate change? What about potential asteroidal impacts? Why the fuck did the Biden administration cut NASA's budget? Why do both major parties continue to increase the military's budget? But they want to cut NASA. They want to cut the Environmental Protection Agency. They want to do all these things that help to worsen society. Why is that? Because both major parties cater tremendously to the theism industrial complex, which does what for us exactly? Which helps humanity how exactly? Which contributes to the advancement of humanity in what ways? So the Catholic Church invented the what was it? Or the Protestants, the Lutherans, the Baptists, the Kojics, they discovered what exactly? Because the Shiites and the Sunnis, they invented and discovered within the last 30 years, they what? Oh right, nothing. They blew up abortion clinics. They flew planes into fucking the World Trade Center. They fucking protest fucking military funerals and shit. They hold people hostage. They pass legislation that doesn't do shit but worsen shit. I've never seen these motherfuckers do anything positive at all in the modern age today. I have not seen one church, not one synagogue, not one fucking whatever the Muslim, the mosque, or any other place of worship invent anything, discover anything, create anything. See, but here's my thing, fam. And I already addressed this earlier. If there were, like, say, Isaac Newton. Okay, he helped discover fucking modern physics and fucking, goddamn, what's it called? Calculus, right? Calculus. Okay, cool. Great. He did that in spite of his Christianity, not because of it. I have not seen a Christian pray calculus into existence. Pray fucking quantum mechanics into existence. The understanding of them. I don't see Christians left and right building extra large hadron colliders and discovering Higgs bosons and shit like that. I don't see it happening. I don't see Christians praying and wishing and then discovering cures to cancer, discovering cures to cystic fibrosis, discovering cures to fucking Crohn's disease or fibromyalgia or the flu or the common cold or shit. They ain't doing shit. They aren't doing anything that can't be accomplished by purely secular means. Things that could not have been done other than by theism. Things that are unique to theism. I've never seen a religious institution cure fucking paralysis or anything. And that is the point. Theism accomplishes not a goddamn thing. Which is why I need you to hit that like and hit that subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Because at the end of the day, theism accomplishes not a damn thing in our society. It does not improve upon anything. It doesn't help humanity evolve and advance. People want to make excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. Oh, what about somebody who keeps their beliefs to themselves? I don't give a fuck. Is their belief true? What about the fact that all these theists and all these theistic institutions absolutely positively refuse to keep their beliefs to themselves? That they are not only open and public with their bullshit, but they are fervent as fuck. That they have all kinds of conferences, all types of media organizations, all types of fucking creators all across the internet who spread this shit on a daily, constant basis, asserting and asserting and asserting their religious beliefs, yet failing and failing and failing to demonstrate how their beliefs are actually truly advancing society, truly improving humanity in any tangible, meaningful way. How are they doing it? In what way does Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, the Jedi, or any other religious belief system, Jainism, How are they improving society? How are they helping us address the various social issues that we face as a nation, as a human race? What are they discovering? What are they inventing? How are they solving any of these issues? How are they solving homelessness and hunger and rape? Rapity, rape. In fact, why are theists constantly perpetuating these crimes against humanity, perpetuating societies that have all these negative elements worldwide? They talk about good vibes. They don't even have that. They don't even have good vibes. Because if you go to a church where everybody's catching the Holy Spirit, everybody's shaking violently like they're having epileptic seizures, it's not the greatest fucking vibe in the fucking world. Trust me. It's fucking weird as fuck. It's off-putting as fuck. And most importantly, it accomplishes not a goddamn thing. I get that people think that they feel great. It makes them feel good. They look like they just took some strong dose of some heavy illicit drug. And that they're feeling all wonderful inside. But what the fuck did that accomplish? What the fuck does that help? In what way does that improve society? Okay, people feel warm and fuzzy. Oh, thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord Jesus. Oh, I'm feeling the Spirit. I'm feeling the Spirit. What the fuck does that do? What exactly does that do? What does that accomplish? How did that help society? How did that help cure any disease? How did that help lower crime? How did that help fucking end abuse, end fucking rape, end fucking child rape? Any rape. Rapity, rape. How does Christianity, how does Hinduism, how does Islam stop rape? How? Gang rape, child rape, spousal rape, incest. How does religion stop any of that? How does it help us prevent any of that? Ever, anywhere in the world? Why are prisons filled to the brim with criminal theists? Theist criminals. If theism was so amazing, what is so amazing about it? What is so good about it? What problems are they solving? What exactly do they solve? Please present to me the problems that theism is actually working to solve today. We're not talking about 2,000 years ago. We're not talking about some specific person. We're talking about as a whole. Power of Jesus starting now. What does that mean, fam? What does that mean? What is this power of Jesus you're talking about? The power of Jesus didn't stop Colt Gray. The power of Jesus didn't stop Dylan Roof. And Dylan Roof was at the church where they were worshiping Jesus at the time that he committed his attack. What the fuck did the power of Jesus do? Pastor Jamie Coots, ask him how the power of Jesus helped him survive a snake bite. Oh, right, you can't because he's fucking dead. He died because he refused medical treatment. What in the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? You ain't witnessed nothing. You ain't witnessed not a damn thing. Because if I ask you to provide some tangible evidence of any of that shit that you just spilled out, you have nothing but just talk. Who gives a... What is this devil thing? Where is it right now? It is 3:32 p.m. Central Standard Time, September 12th, 2024. Where is the devil? Where is heaven? Where are any of this shit that you're talking about? Where is it? Where is Jesus? Exactly. Exactly, Jay. I rebuke you. What? Pow pow. He's getting it from his fucking ass, where they all get it from. That's why I talk about what I talk about, because these are the type of people we have to deal with. They're great at typing a bunch of bullshit. They're great at giving us their sci-fi lore. They're great at showing us that they're super duper sci-fi nerds that can't fucking let go of their fucking ancient Dungeons and Dragons Harry Potter bullshit, but they can't demonstrate to us how any of that is useful in any tangible, meaningful way. Ray API. First of all, for all I know, Ray API is just that, an API. Some fucking AI, some kind of fucking chat bot, some kind of fucking religious troll bot that's just typing a bunch of religious shit that has nothing to do with nothing. And even if it is a real person, Ray API can't show us how he, she, it, they, whatever their pronoun is, how they can use any of that bullshit they just typed out to cure cancer, to cure ALS, to cure heart disease, to end child hunger, to end homelessness, to end poverty, to end corruption in our government, to end the wealth inequality that's been plaguing our hyper-capitalist society. They're great at bullshitting us to death, sending us Jesus healing energy, which does nothing. And that's exactly the issue we have. Despite all this bullshit this Goofy just typed, people are around the world dying right now, losing their lives right now, praying to Jesus they don't get shot, and boom, got shot and they died. How the fuck is your healing energy stopping any of that? Y'all have had literally thousands of years to promote this bullshit, to show us that this bullshit actually helps solve the issues that you claim it does, and you have demonstrated a complete failure to demonstrate it. If you can show us right now how your belief in Jesus could end world hunger right now, the floor is yours. The floor is yours to show us how sending us your healing energy ends world hunger right now. Right now. 3:35 p.m. Central Standard Time, September the 12th, 2024. Show us how the Lord's energy, Jesus' energy, Allah's energy, or whatever the fuck you're talking about, solves any kind of problem of any kind. Show us how you're using this belief to stop child rape right now. How you're using this belief to stop any kind of rape. Prison rape. Spousal rape. Incest. Whatever kind of rape that exists in the world, show us you stopping any of that. Show us your belief, your ideology, stopping any of that, preventing any of that, ending all of that, right fucking now. You can type all that shit that you want. You can say all the nice things on the power of Christ and da-da-da-da-da and David and Enoch and fucking all that dumb shit. Show us how that actually helps us. Actually show us. Like literally like anything. Anything, please. Show us how that's helping us. Because I watch a lot of crime shit, right? I'm currently going through this channel called Beyond Evil. And I see a lot of evil shit happening, even among religion, and especially among religious people, religious families, and shit like that. I don't see how the religion stopped any of that, ever. I've never seen it stop any of that. I've never seen theism solve any of these problems. particularly today in the modern age. We're not talking about 2,000 years ago. We're not talking about during the time when we didn't understand washing your hands before you eat. We're talking about nowadays in the fucking 2024, in the 21st century, how theism is helping us in any way at all. In what way does it actually help us? What problems does it actually solve? Any problem. I'm talking about any problem. Economics, politics, fucking health, environment, anything. What does religion, any form of theism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Jainism, the Jedi, Scientology, any of that bullshit, what problems do they directly address and solve that they can directly address and solve? Like real world issues, real issues, like actual problems. Any of the problems, murder, rape, incest, fucking hunger, homelessness, climate change, droughts, weather events, you know, the hurricane that's about to hit Louisiana. You still didn't answer my questions. You still didn't answer my question, Ray. Where is the devil right now? Right this second. It's 3:39 p.m. Where is the devil? What is this thing? Where is it? And how do you know? What is the devil? Where is it? And what is your evidence right now? What is it? Where is it? And how do you know? What is it? Where is it? And what is your evidence for this? You can type all day about the devil all you want. I don't care. What is it? Where is it? And show us. What is it? Where is it? Show us. Show us right now. But see, that's the problem with theism. That's the problem with theists. They have nothing. They never had it. They never will have anything. They can do everything possible to talk all day. Ray can say all this fucking shit. And that is the problem. What it shows, what theism shows, is that we have a clear mental health crisis. We are in a state of extreme crisis. And people don't really understand this because they're part of the crisis to begin with. There are people nationwide that are suffering from these issues, which is why it's so hard to even talk about these issues. Because people are dealing with all kinds of problems upstairs. They're dealing with all kinds of psychological traumas, delusions, disorders of various kinds, substance abuse issues, whatever. Issues that are so crazy, we can't even talk about it on TikTok because they might fear that we might actually change some minds. Because people are suffering from these various conditions and they can't demonstrate to us how these worldviews, how these ideologies can actually help us to solve these issues in any tangible, meaningful way. That's why I need you to hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that we can get to the bottom of how we can solve these issues tangibly as a nation, as an American citizenry, as human beings all across the world. Because see, the reason I had to create the no cap zone is because we have a nation full of people that love to cap all fucking day, bullshitting us all day, and they want to put a cap on what humanity is capable of. So that's why we removed the cap. The only cap that's available, the only cap that's allowed in the no cap zone is your thinking cap. Because otherwise you can miss me with all of your bullshit. You can miss me with all of your assertions. Yeah, prayers are formed with all that shit, and yet it accomplishes nothing. You can say all this shit about vibration and cosmic energy and all that shit. You're not a cosmologist. You're not an astrophysicist. You have no understanding of quantum physics, quantum mechanics to demonstrate any of that. Because if you could demonstrate all of that, you would be a Nobel laureate. you will be a Nobel Prize winning person. And instead of being here in the comment section bullshitting us to death, you would be out over there in Europe somewhere receiving your Nobel Prize, changing the world with this new discovery you made about cosmic vibrations and shit. There is a reason why people like you will never win the Nobel Prize. Because at the end of the day, you're full of shit. Sorry, Ray. Sorry to break it to you. You're full of shit. Your ilk is full of shit. And that's just what it is. I don't say that to be mean. I'm not saying that to be a contrarian. I'm saying it because it's a fact. I'm saying this because I love you. You need to get your mind right, because the shit that you're talking about is nonsense. No, there's not. There's not positive and negative nothing. It's just a bunch of people talking and bullshitting. And you're going to end up getting yourself removed if you keep perpetuating this nonsense on some real shit. So I'm really getting tired of your filth. Really getting tired of the drivel that all you've been doing is just typing a bunch of bullshit. And that is exactly the problem of theism in the modern age. That's why theism is evil. Because see, you think that you're typing a whole bunch of positive, wonderful, wonderful things. You think you're talking about wonderful, amazing things. And you're not demonstrating how any of this helps us in any tangible, meaningful way at all. You're not showing us how these beliefs are helping us to improve society in any way. In any way. And now that we have science, now that we have logic, now that we have reason, the capability for reason, there is no excuse for this type of drivel to continually persist in our society. There is no good reason as to why people should be perpetuating this nonsense on a constant fucking basis. Because what does it do? What problem does it solve? How are these beliefs helping us? How does that help us? How does that help us? In what way does that help us? Saying all that shit about whatever you just said, positive and negative prayers and shit, what the fuck does that matter? How do these positive and negative prayers have any effect on anything? At all. At all. How do they come up with cures for diseases? How do they stop rape? How do they stop tornadoes, volcanoes, comet impacts? This fool ain't talking about nothing. And that's what theists do. They're working to muddy the waters. They're working to water down our understanding so that we can't progress. They don't want us to progress. Theism requires us to be stagnant, to think non-critically, to think stupidly, to work against our best interests, so that we sit on our hands and our thumbs and knees and not do the work necessary to further humanity, because furthering humanity is hard. Understanding science and mathematics is not easy. And rather than do that, they would rather read their ancient sci-fi fantasy nonsense that they keep purporting, that they keep pushing on a constant basis. Which is why these trolls love to jump in the chat and perpetuate their bullshit while contributing not a goddamn thing to anything other than a bunch of bullshit. That's why theism is evil. That's why in the modern age, theism is evil. If you are a theist, I'm sorry to break it to you, you're an evil person. You subscribe to an ideology that is not life affirming. You are subscribing to an ideology that is handicapping our society. Jamie, what's good? Welcome. Please hit that like button. Fortunately, Silk got rid of that clown. Thank goodness, because they were getting on my fucking nerves. Because this is what theists do. They always engage in the apologetics. They always engage in the not thank you. They always work towards not accomplishing anything, doing everything possible to prevent progress as much as possible, because they do not like They can't succeed. They can't persist. And that is the time that we're in now. We're in this crazy time where we have to make a huge transition, where we have to make really, really extreme changes, abrupt changes right now to the way we go about doing things, to the way that we govern ourselves, the way that we arrange our societies, the values that we push on society, the values that we perpetuate in society, the goals that we have as Americans and as a human race. Because it is abundantly clear we don't have a vision. It's abundantly clear that those in power don't have a real direction that they want to give us, that they want to take us to. All they want to do is pretty much just fuck with your brain and work against your own interests so you can give as much money and support as you can to these institutions that are working to worsen the world in all these different ways. They are not helping us to improve our society. They are not helping us to solve the various problems. If anything, they are exacerbating the problems by not working to solve the problems, by encouraging that we don't solve the problems, by encouraging people to be willfully ignorant, that they don't push people to learn the sciences so that they can contribute to solving these different problems, coming up with new innovations, coming up with unique solutions to all these problems and issues that have been plaguing humanity for eons. And that is why it's become so difficult to solve these problems, because you have too many people, too many institutions, too many individuals that are working steadfastly against it, in favor of their religious ideologies, in favor of their religious bullshit, that make it so difficult for us to solve our problems. Silk, it's not gonna happen, fam. Ray is not gonna stop. Theists are not going to stop. They're not programmed to stop. They're not programmed to realize, hey, what I'm saying is a bunch of goofy ass bullshit. Maybe I need to rethink what I'm doing. That's not what they do. That's never what they do. That's never what they choose to do. That's never what they seek to accomplish. They always seek to bombard us with as much bullshit as they can, working on behalf of their ideology, working on behalf of these different institutions so that they can continue to persist. They need these fucking agents. They need these salespeople to continually sell their ideas. That's why they're spending money on advertising now. That's why they're making commercials during the Super Bowl, during fucking football Sunday, during the NBA fucking playoffs, during the NBA season, during the Olympics, because it's all they have now. It's the only way that they can continue to stay relevant. Because if they actually had to demonstrate that they were actually useful in any tangible, meaningful way, they would fail. Because they always fail. They always fail. So the fact that they continue to push their agenda just goes to show exactly how evil they are. They are not aiming at solving any problems. They're not aiming at curing diseases, at stopping child rape, spousal rape, prison rape, any kind of rape. In fact, they're perpetuators of rape. They're perpetrators of rape. They are the ones that commit a lot of these acts on an institutional level. They protect the ones that get caught. They move them around. They allow them to escape prosecution and persecution. Oh, fucking Pastor so-and-so got caught. Let's move him over to California. Oh, Rabbi such and such got caught. Let's move him over to fucking Texas. Oh, fucking Imam such and such got caught. Let's move him over to fucking Saudi Arabia or some shit. Everything to protect these charlatans, these monsters, these scam artists who accomplish not a fucking thing, who don't contribute anything positive to society, who don't contribute any actual effective and efficient solutions to all the various problems that the earth has. And what makes it worse is that we have all these new technologies. We have all these new innovations that are happening. And we can't even have real discussions about how these technologies are going to impact our society and how we need to ethically guide the implementation and rollout of these technologies. Because we have these people over here, these Luddites, these delusional religious people who want to believe their nonsense over actually understanding the truth of reality, of understanding how reality works, so that we can best decide the best course of action henceforth. They want to believe that some ancient sci-fi fantasy novel that's not rooted in reality is the best tool that we can use to guide our morality. And the fact of the matter is their entire worldview doesn't even comport with reality. The core tenet. See, one of the things about me that's different from other atheist creators out there, I don't get into the weeds of any particular form of theism. I don't go through the Bible. I don't go through the fucking Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, trying to say, see, this line doesn't make sense. See, this passage doesn't make sense. We could do that, but I don't, because everybody else does that. A lot of other creators do that. I go to the core. I go to the root. Where is this thing? The thing that's so amazing. The thing, the core of their belief, the existence of this supernatural, super intelligence thing that supposedly influences everything, that informs and motivates everything. I get to the, what is this thing? Where is it? How do these fools know? And the fact of the matter is that they have nothing, which renders the entire rest of their lore pointless. Because if they can't show us there's this thing that says this stuff, that does this stuff, that commands all this stuff, then the whole lore, the whole book that their entire theology rests on is moot to begin with. That's the point. If there's something that for real exists, first of all, I wouldn't need a book, because it could communicate directly. And second of all, if it existed, it could give us actual information, useful information. It could give these theists the greatest talking points of all time that would be the most convincing to us. And what we see is the opposite. They have nothing. They have virtually nothing. They don't have any evidence of any kind. They have the worst argumentation of all time. They are the worst salespeople of all time. They can't sell us on their ideas. They need people to be ignorant as hell in order for them to subscribe to these ideologies. They don't seek to improve upon people and their ideas and their knowledge and their ability to survive in society, to improve society, to address the concerns that face humanity so that they can become better, more useful, positive citizens, constructive, useful, helpful, contributors to humanity's progression. The opposite is true. These people are doing their damnedest to ensure our destruction, which is why theism is evil. Which is why I venture to say that theism is evil. Because if it's not helping us, it's hurting us. And that's all that we see. It hurts us because it influences people to not think, to not learn, to not want to learn, to work against learning, to be the type of people who don't know and don't want to know, who don't want to understand, who don't want to do the hard work of understanding. They claim they want to be like God, you know, the God that knows everything, but at the same time, they want to be ignorant as hell. They don't want to know like God knows. They don't want to see what God sees, because if God is so true, if God was so powerful and was so intelligent, why wouldn't they want to gain intelligence and power? If they want to be like God, that's literally counterintuitive. Why wouldn't God want us to be like him? If it wants us to be like him, why would it not want us to gain knowledge and intelligence? Why would it want us to waste our fucking time worshiping and worshiping and worshiping, accomplishing nothing, while children are getting raped, while people are dying of hunger, while people are dying of health needs that are easily addressable right now? When we have all these resources, where the U.S. its GDP is accruing trillions of dollars. Trillions! Yet we still have all these issues. Not only do we still have these issues, the issues are worsening. People are going into more debt. People are suffering from all types of health issues. There are more environmental issues now than probably ever before in history. We got microplastics in our dicks. In our dicks, vages, bloodstream, water supply, food supply. These things are fucking up our mental, they're fucking up our hormonal balance, all that shit. And theism does not a goddamn thing to address any of these issues at all. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for hitting that like and hitting that subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Because we're talking about reality every day, starting 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, unless otherwise noted. But this is the biggest issue of our day. Getting in tune with reality, supporting people vying for leadership who are in tune with reality. Because as far as I'm concerned, the people who are vying for the presidency are unqualified for the position. We already have 4 years of Trump. He demonstrated that he is a failure. Maybe, maybe not, who knows? But I'm telling you, that I need y'all to hit the like and the subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because if I don't tell you, the chances of you doing it are a lot lower. So if you haven't already, please hit that like and hit that subscribe. Turn on the notification bell, because we're doing this at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time every day. Just reminding those who are new, who might not be familiar, who don't know what's going on, that they know what's going on. We do this every day, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We do a pre-show on TikTok at 1:30 p.m. before the... Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. We do a TikTok pre-show where we introduce the concepts. You can find the link on my fucking page. I'm theultimaterage 079. And then we do the lives. So thank you. But no, it's not the end of the live quite yet. But we are getting close though, because I think I've made a pretty compelling ass case. Made a pretty goddamn compelling case. The fact of the matter is theists aren't accomplishing shit. They're not solving shit. Spiritual people aren't solving shit. Their crystals and their fucking astrology and the fact that this person's a Cancer and that person's a Leo and this person's a Scorpio and this person's a... whatever the fuck. How does that help us? No, we don't need a new topic. This is the topic. This is always the topic. If you have a problem with that, you can move around. Because this is the topic that we're talking about every day. As long as this topic remains the problem of humanity, I'm going to talk about it every single day. I'm going to talk about it at all days, all the time. As long as it remains a problem, we are going to talk about it. That's why we have the No Cap Zone. Because this is what it's all about. Addressing the elephant in the room. Everybody wants to pretend like the elephant isn't there. It's right there. It's been in front of our face all along. We're going to talk about it until the cows come home, until we get this weak-ass elephant the fuck out the room. Because theists don't want us to address these problems. They don't want us to talk about this shit. They don't want us to criticize them. They don't want us to talk about their fucking issues. First of all, Jay, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this once. I talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. If you got a problem with that, you can move the fuck around. You can move the fuck around. We actually watched the debate live the other day. You weren't there. Huh. Wonder why that is. We watched the debate. We watched it. Together. As silk. We literally sat there and suffered through this ridiculous debate. We discussed it in real time. You should have been there if you wanted to talk about it. But the fact of the matter is, I talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. If you got a problem with that, you can literally go somebody else's fucking live. Straight like that. You talk about it with Dean and Parker. I don't give a fuck. Go over there and talk about it with them. So I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I've been talked about these fucks. I've been talked about. Look, let's talk about the debate since you want to talk about it. They suck. Boom, we talked about the debate. Anyway, these fools are insufficient. They're unqualified to help us lead because all they care about are their donors and the theism industrial complex. In order to even be a leader, in order to be a candidate of either of the two major parties, you have to be a theist. That is a prerequisite to even being a candidate. You can't be an atheist. You can't even really be a Muslim. But even regardless of that, fuck Islam. They're delusional as fuck. That's why we don't need to talk about the debate. They ain't talk about shit. They barely even talked about policy. It was a bunch of mudslinging and oh, he said this and oh, she said that. Oh, that was a lie. Oh, no, I didn't say that. Oh, I've always stood for fucking fracking. I totally love fracking. Don't you understand? Fracking is so wonderful and amazing. Well, actually, don't you see the migrants are eating the dogs? Migrants? Okay, we don't need to talk about that shit. Clown shows bullshit. There, you happy? We talked about the debate. Dumb shit. These fools did not talk about climate change at all. They did not talk about how they're going to end poverty and homelessness and child hunger and rape. They didn't talk about none of that shit. They didn't talk about how we're going to move up and up and up on the Kardashev scale. They didn't talk about how they're going to solve any of these fucking problems that we have been facing for all this time. All they did was talk about, okay, Trump said he's going to fucking cut taxes. He's going to improve the border and something about concepts and shit. Kamala says she wants to give $50,000 to new businesses. She wants to give $6,000 to new families. Okay, cool. Then what? What's there to talk about? There's nothing to talk about. That's why I'm not talking about, because there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. There is nothing to talk about. The mere fact that these fools are our leading candidates goes to show you the woeful state of American politics, shows you the woeful state of American political discourse. The fact that we can't even talk about how both of these parties have failed us miserably. The fact that the race is even close to begin with is preposterous because of Kamala represented the left. If Democrats actually represented the left, these elections wouldn't even be remotely close. Because they would be standing on the side of logic and reason and fact-based evidence. But the fact of the matter is that the Democratic Party, much like the Republican Party, caters to their rich-ass, expensive-ass, elitist-ass donors. That's why Princeton University provided a study 10 years ago showing that the majority of our policies are directly affected by the rich, the banks, and the corporations and have a net zero effect by us, the people. And at the core of all of that is the theism industrial complex. You can't be a fucking leading Democrat, a leading Republican, and be an atheist. It's impossible. Impossible. You always have to say God bless and God bless and God bless the United States. God bless America. God bless God. Fuck that shit. Where the fuck is this God person thing? Where is it? What is it? What is the evidence? How does this bullshit help us as a society? You want to be the president? Show us why we should actually support you. What the fuck is it that you stand on? What is it that you believe? And show us that this belief system that you have makes fucking sense. That this belief system will guide you to being a sensible leader of the nation. That's the problem. They can't demonstrate that this thing exists. They can't demonstrate that it makes sense to believe this thing. And despite the fact that both of these people, both of these parties subscribe to these ideologies, they can't demonstrate how these things actually tangibly improve the world. Tangibly improve America, which is why we keep worsening regardless of which of the two parties are in office. As I state, on the Global Peace Index, out of 163 countries, with one being number one and 163 being The least, the worst. Number one is the most peaceful. Number 163 is the least peaceful. When Trump took office, we were 126, and now after 4 years of both Trump and Biden, we are 132, which means it doesn't matter which of the two are in office, we're failing miserably. We're worsening. We're becoming less, and less peaceful. Which means that neither of these parties have worked to ensure that we're moving up and up and up on the global peace index, because the people who are at the helm of either party are not in tune with reality. Not only are they not in tune with reality, but they're corrupted by moneyed interests to begin with. That is at the core of all of this shit. That's at the core of all of this shit. That's why it becomes so difficult for us to even have conversations about any of this shit. So if you think the conversation is becoming stale, good. Move the fuck around. You want to know what's going to happen tomorrow? Come through and find out. How about you come through and find out? You miss me with all this nonsense, fam. We're talking about the same shit. We're always going to talk about this shit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what any of you are thinking and feeling about. I care about the fact that we have a nation full of delusional ass people who want to believe all sorts of nonsense and can't demonstrate that what they are talking about is the truth. And as long as we have a nation filled with these people, we're going to talk about it every day. We're going to talk about every day. We're going to talk about different aspects of it. But we're going to talk about it every single day. Every single day. The same shit. They talk about their bullshit every day. They tell us the same bullshit quotes from the same old fucking book all day, every day. So why can't I talk about how full of shit they are every day? Why is that such a problem for you? If it's a problem, there are plenty, literally endless amounts of creators that are creating all sorts of topics about all kinds of other shit. Did you know that Shannon Sharp accidentally went live on IG having sex? You want to talk about that? Go somewhere else with that shit. I'm not here to talk about that because I don't give a fuck. Literally doesn't bother me. I don't care what other celebrities are doing because that shit doesn't bother me, and it doesn't have anything to do with how we're going to improve society. Oh my God, somebody was having sexual intercourse. How dare they? That doesn't matter to me. Oh, did you know that fucking Ben Affleck is back to dating Jennifer Garner after getting divorced from fucking Jennifer Lopez? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. That shit don't fucking matter. Go to fucking Entertainment Tonight or some shit. You want to fucking talk about that shit. This ain't the place for that. This is the no cap zone. Miss me with all that cap and shit. Celebrity gossip is not what we do here. You want to learn about who's fucking who, who's dating who, who's doing what? I don't give a fuck. That's not what we do here at all. Period. That shit don't mean shit to me. That shit ain't putting no goddamn money in my pockets. That shit ain't solving shit. Yo, thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Hit that like button. I'm trying to understand reality. That's the whole point of what I do. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being, thank you. We're trying to understand reality, fam, because the society that we found ourselves in is senseless. Nothing makes sense. Everything is bullshit. America has become the capital, the scam capital of the world. Everything that we put out is bullshit. We love to sell people glamour and glitz, and America's so wonderful and amazing. Meanwhile, we got third world countries all over the nation. Right? Little pockets of different towns, even some of the biggest cities have their little sections that you would have thought was a fucking war zone. All over. We pretend like this shit doesn't exist. We pretend like all these different ideologies are helping us in some tangible, meaningful way, and they're not. Because if they did, they would be showing us that they are helping us, and they're not. And it is time now that we actually try to figure out how to fucking best move forward. By going back to the drawing board and rethinking what we are trying to do. And yes, like Silk said, after the live, we're going to be in the Discord, shooting the shit, building community. We're going to fucking watch some shit, all types of shit. We're going to kick it for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, theists have not demonstrated that they contribute positively to society. They have not demonstrated that their belief system will actually help us, actually tangibly help us solve the various problems. Like I said, the abuses, the rapes, the chaos, the violence, the mayhem, the diseases, the birth defects, the weather events, any of the issues that we face on a daily basis that we have been facing for years. And then not only that, but the ethical standards for new technologies and new innovations. These theological ideologies do not help us to properly prepare, to properly address any of these issues. So now we got to go back to the drawing board. We need to go back to trying to figure out what we as a human race are trying to accomplish. What is it that we are trying to do? What do we want to do? Do we want to just sit around worshiping the Lord all day and hoping that that magically leads to some kind of success of some kind? Or maybe, just maybe, we can work together interdependently with synergy to create a well-functioning society for ourselves on our quest to understanding as much as we can about reality so we can manipulate our reality to our collective benefit. So that we can continue moving up on the Kardashev scale as high as possible to see how deep the reality rabbit hole goes. Because these are some of the questions that have been plaguing us for eons. What is reality? What does it mean to exist? What does it mean to be alive, to be a living creature, to have a brain, to have thoughts, to posit, or should I say, to contemplate our mortality, to contemplate the nature of reality. Is the universe all there is, or is there more to it? Is it an omniverse? Is it a superverse? Is it a simulation? Is it an E8 lattice? Is it a bunch of strings, or whatever the fuck? What is it? And how do we find out? How do we get to the bottom of figuring out the nature of reality as it is? And I venture to say that our greatest tools to figuring out reality is using reason, logic, fact-based evidence motivated by empathy and love, all while we're utilizing the scientific method: science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics. STEAM, science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics. Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. Trust me, I ain't tripping. Fam. You've been one of the most loyal people fucking with me, and I appreciate it. So if you can't come through today, it's all good. It's all gravy. If I gotta be in the think tank by myself, that's what it's gonna be. Cause I'm me. And no matter what happens, I'm always gonna know that I'm me. And that's what theists don't want us to think. They don't want us to value ourselves. They want to tell us that we're less than nothing. They want to tell us that we're useless, that we're horrible people, that we're terrible sinners. We're sinners, and we need to be truly believing that we only gain value by the Lord, by believing this sci-fi fantasy nonsense that doesn't contribute at all to improving our quality of life, to improving the world, to solving the various issues that we have. Which is why it's become so difficult for us to even talk about this shit. That's why they make it so hard, so fucking hard for us to even talk about this shit. Because these institutions need to continue to persist. They need to keep making money on the backs of all of these fucking ignorant people so that they can survive, so that they can continue to self-sustain. But for humanity's sake, if we want to survive, things have to change. They have to change drastically. Some of these institutions, some of these individuals are going to have to start taking L's. Because the more that we learn, the more that we discover, the more that we innovate, the more that we will be able to understand about reality, the more that we gain the ability to manipulate this reality to our collective benefit, and the better we'll be able to improve, to evolve, to ensure that we move as high as we can on the Kardashev scale as much as possible, so that we can not only set ourselves up for constant survival, but that we can thrive, that we can go out into space. Why make the sky the limit when there's a whole cosmos out there, which could be particularly infinite? Why not see how far we can take things? Why not see how fucking advanced we can get? Because it's my opinion that we are the gods that a lot of these people love to worship. We are the gods. We have the capability of figuring out all this shit and solving all these problems in real life while we are alive. Not having to wait till we die so that we can get answers. Why wait to death? Why hope there's some kind of afterlife out there if we can figure out how to improve upon shit while we're alive? Where we can extend the human lifespan, where we can eliminate all these genetic conditions and diseases from the human gene pool, so we can ensure that the children who are born in perfectly great health. In fact, having better health than anybody ever before in history. Why would we not want that? Why would we want to decide that we have to die to find answers? That is suicidal. That's why I say theism is suicidal. Theism is suicidal. That's why it's evil. Because it influences people to remain ignorant. It influences people to stay willfully ignorant so that they don't contribute to solving the various issues of the world, so that we can inevitably die and meet our demise if some environmental cataclysm or anything like that happens. Yeah, so somebody literally saying, I'll race you there. Like, why would you want to race there? Race to death when we can race to live. Not only live, but have awesome lives, thrive, invent new technologies, make new inventions, new discoveries that improve our quality of life, where we can actually figure out how psychological disorders form, where we can understand what psychological disorders are, so that we can then figure out better treatment methods, better preventative methods, eliminate psychological disorders from the gene pool, and in fact, make our brains super brains so we gain huge understandings of the reality, so we can contribute even greater to understanding reality, to discovering all these different aspects of reality we previously didn't know, so that we can continue to pay it forward and create a positive feedback loop, a snowball effect of constantly improving knowledge, wisdom, understanding of reality, allowing us to create new innovations, to create new technologies, ever improving technologies, ever improving medicines, ever improving treatment methods and surgical practices and human upgrades. That is what it's all about. That is what I'm all about. I'm a transhumanist, an exotropist, meaning a person who cares about upgrading the human body. Learning things about the human body so we can improve upon it. Because I don't know about any of y'all, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And I don't want to see any of you all die. If we die, I want it to be at the day of our choosing. Not, oh, I got cancer stage 4 and I only have 4 months to live. Fuck that. Why does any disease, why does any virus, why does any condition have to be considered a death sentence? I'd rather have a life sentence. I'd rather have a sentence affirming life. Like, hey, we figured out a new fucking treatment, a new cure, a new medicine that can greatly improve our health, greatly fucking treat or even cure this disease, this condition. Hell yeah. Of course. That's literally why I do this. If I didn't think it was possible, I wouldn't be doing this shit. That's why theism is evil. Because I do believe we can extend our lifetimes. There are organizations that are working steadfastly to do it. There are already innovations that are in their infancy that will help us to do that. Things like the CRISPR gene editing, CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing program. If we can figure out how to eliminate every fucking disease, if we can understand what causes this or that genetic disorder, or this predisposition to cancer, this predisposition to alcoholism, this predisposition to heart disease or diabetes or whatever the fuck, we can eliminate that shit from the human fucking race. From the human. And then on top of that, we have nanotechnologies, we have quantum computing that are going to work together to help us on this endeavor. Fusion energy, which will help to even enhance these new technologies, because now we have a clean energy base that allows us to be even more efficient. These are technologies, these are innovations that are happening right now. Brain computer interfaces, where we have Neuralink and other fucking different BCIs that are being developed right now, right as we speak. This isn't just speculative shit. This isn't just some one day. No, they already figured out how to use CRISPR to cure sickle cell. This was already a few months ago. So these things are happening right as we speak. And the whole point I'm talking about is, imagine if more people were contributing right now to helping this shit happen. All of these theists that believe all this bullshit, that believe all this sci-fi fantasy gobbledygook. Imagine if they put that same energy to learning the sciences, to learning mathematics, to learning engineering, to contributing to supporting those that are learning this shit. Imagine how much more advanced we become as a nation, as a human race. You mean to tell me 7-8 billion people around the fucking world, 300 some odd million people in the United States? And you mean to tell me if we weren't all working together interdependently with synergy, that we couldn't solve all these problems by next Thursday? Come on, man. This is why theism is evil. Because while we're still having the debate about whether or not God is real, whether or not angels are watching over us, whether or not the jinns are fucking harming us and demons and devils are possessing people and what have you, people are out there dying right now, suffering right now, needlessly right now. We're failing miserably to address these issues, how we can solve homelessness so nobody has to be homeless unless they want to be and choose to be. And who in their right mind wants to be homeless? Who? I mean, it's one thing you want to live off the grid, you want to live in the wilderness, you want to become one with nature. That's cool. That's great. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are mentally disturbed, who are suffering from either a disorder and or some kind of substance abuse, who has no choice but to be homeless because they literally cannot function in our society. That we don't have a society that allows them a pathway of becoming contributors, positive contributors to the advancement of humanity. These are the things that we talk about on a daily basis. I don't care if you have a problem with that or not. Like I said, you can move around because this is the core of what I'm interested in. This is what we talk about daily. Different aspects of it, different fucking topics of it. Right? We've been talking about so much shit. We had a fantastic discussion last week about abortion. Right? Today, I kept it a little cooler because even though this is the most controversial topic, it's become commonplace around here because this is the no cap zone where we have a strict dress code. Knock it the hell off with that capping shit. All these avenues you can go to for capping ass bullshit. All these creators, all these institutions, all these media organizations, all these platforms where you can go for bullshit and capping and lying and nonsense and delusional bullshit. Plenty of other places for that. Here, the only cap that's allowed is your thinking cap. Because otherwise, miss me with that capping ass bullshit. I don't want to hear no excuses. Don't want to hear no religious apologetics. Because that shit ain't moving me, fam. You're not going to convince me with, well, if the Lord and if the... Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up with that shit. I'm tired of being nice to you motherfuckers. I'm sick of trying to cater to y'all. The time is now. Put up or shut the fuck up forever. If theism is true and theism is useful and helpful in any tangible, meaningful way, show us right now. Show us right now. Right now. I don't want to hear nothing else. Show me how believing in Jesus, believing in Allah, Akbar, halal and haram and Allah, halal, show me how that fucking shit truly, directly contributes to human advancement. And if you can't, shut the hell up. And that's what theists need to do from now on. Knock it off with that shit. Miss me with that shit. Pick up a science textbook or look up some shit on fucking YouTube, on Wikipedia. Watch some of these motherfucking science communicators. Watch somebody like David Kipping of Cool Worlds on YouTube. Cool Worlds. He literally works for NASA. Like, as in, he is an employee of NASA. He is an actual NASA astrophysicist. He does the math, talking about a lot of these topics. He's somebody who's in the field doing the work that these charlatans and scam artists claim that they're doing by being connected to the Lord. And yet, these same charlatans, these same scam artists can't seem to pinpoint the Lord's exact location or a communication method. Just a bunch of baseless assertions and declarations that are simply unfounded. So, I'm going to conclude by saying theism is evil. They are snake oil salesmen. That's literally what they are. Except Jamie Coots didn't have any snake oil to sell. He thought he could just sell, hey, I'm handling these dangerous snakes. Got bit. And was like, nah, anti-venom, miss me with that science shit. Look, give me some of that Jesus juice. Give me some of that motherfucking Jesus juice. Give me that blood of Jesus juice. That's totally gonna cure my fucking poison, my venom that's flowing through my brain. Wrong. He died and he ain't never coming back. All that rejecting the scientific method shit got his stupid ass killed. He's dead. And that's what happened. That's what will happen to us as a society if we continue to reject the scientific method in favor of the sci-fi fantasy bullshit. It will not help us. It has never helped us. And now that we have science, technology, engineering, the arts, mathematics, logic, reason, fact-based evidence, what is theism going to provide us with? What way does it help us to solve anything? Oh, right, none. So if anybody's still perpetuating these ideas in the 21st century and henceforth, they're evil. If these people think that their idea, exactly, what kind of mom thinks that praying instead of taking her daughter, her child to the hospital is even remotely logical? That is evil. That's straight up evil. That's what we would call somebody who sees somebody suffering from some ailment or some injury and that refuses to get real help. If you think that, Father God, please help this person. I just showed people the other day a video of a dude that got shot here in Chicago, and the person holding the camera, please, Heavenly Father, please help this man, while the cop is doing fucking CPR, doing chest compressions on this kid who got shot, and the person holding the phone, please Jesus, save this poor child, save this. Shit didn't work, and it doesn't work, and it never will, which is why theism is evil. So make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Check out the Outrageous EP from The Ultimate Rage, available on all streaming platforms. The link is in the fucking page. Check out the motherfucking Ultimate Rage Furious Styles Volume 1 mixtape, which is available in my Discord in the OD9 music section. The link to that can be found on my profile as well. Make sure you join my Patreon for $5 a month. You get access to exclusives, behind the scenes, advanced materials, and all types of exclusives. We got a music video on the way. Me and the guys. My guy just the other day finally recorded his part of the video. So in the next couple of months, the fucking director is going to be working on editing the video. And then I will give you guys the exclusives or everything concerning that, but you will get them first in the Patreon. $5 a month. Do I feel like dropping the freestyle real quick? Why the fuck not? I guess sure I will. But before I do, just make sure y'all fuck with my shit. All my shit. The music, the Outrageous EP. In fact, in a little bit, I'm going to make a post showing how I came up with the cover for the Outrageous EP on my page. I'm going to post it on Patreon. Okay, $5 a month. But sure, I'll drop a freestyle real quick. Because this is what I do. And to answer your question from earlier, we're trying a new thing on Fridays where it's Freestyle Friday. So I make it a more interactive freestyle session, where you can throw out words and shit, and I'm going to try to incorporate them into the fucking freestyle. So that'll be tomorrow. So let me just put some on real quick. Actually, let me... Well, fuck it. Hey. It's called TGIF. You can see me high def in front of your face. I come in this place, get your bitch bust a nut in their face, cause I'm a motherfucking evil man with my evil plans. You can see me with my evil scams. You can see we are motherfucking theists, and we're telling you to believe this, believe in Jesus, and you can then lick on my penis. We're not going to solve any actual problems. You show me world issues, we won't actually solve them. We'll tell you you close your eyes and then hope and wish and know that this is not gonna be helping you cope with shit. You know this, and I don't give a fuck though. I just want you to come in and give $1 million though, and I will get your chick and I will hit her up though, and show you motherfuckers all this new shit I'ma upload. Basically, we ain't gonna help to solve anything. We just gonna get up in your ass like Lemmy Winks. I don't understand. I don't care if many blink. I'm just going to tell you I don't give a fuck what many think, cause we don't care about thoughts or actions. We just care about hope and inner satisfaction. If you think that having a fraction of a faction that can work about doing actions, will hack it on some Harry Mack shit. That's just the status I'm at. If you don't like it, you can get hit with the swiftest back kick. I'll give you the cross-faced chicken wing like I was Bob Backlund. I'ma let them have it. You come at me, your nation gets flattened. If you wanna cause static, I'm bringing action. Bombastic, bombarding y'all with all arms and bombs, and y'all can see I came through with all forms of charm. Basically, you niggas is fake to me. Everything we think is nothing short of make-believe. Why don't you cover yourself with make-believes while we tell you to turn the degree down 8 degrees? And then if you don't like what I'm saying, you can respond to me angrily. Ain't nobody else out here can prove that they are even as fake as we. Religion, theism, nonsense, garbage, bull ass shit. The fact of the matter is that it's wrong. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. If it was right, they demonstrated, I would agree. I would still be a theist because I was a theist at one point and I am not now because they have failed to demonstrate that their belief system is sensible. So, it is my opinion, it is a fact that theism, particularly in the modern age, is evil. We have to fucking remove their evil clutches from society and start inundating society with logic, reason, fact-based evidence, empathy, and a scientific method by understanding that we are all that we got, us together, because despite all the galaxies and stars and moons and planets out there, we have yet to discover any other alien life out there, which means that for now at least, we are all we got. So we need to value human life on Earth. We need to value each other. We need to value our society if we want to survive and thrive and spread throughout the cosmos. Otherwise, the fuck are we doing? The fuck is the point of any of this shit? So hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Check out the Outrageous EP available on all streaming platforms. Check out the Furious Styles Volume 1 mixtape in the Discord. We're about to head to the Discord, to the think tank, to build community. And please consider joining the Patreon, $5 a month, exclusive access to everything. And then follow me everywhere. All my links are on my fucking page here on YouTube. Tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on TikTok. And then 2 p.m. Central Standard Time back here on YouTube. Kicking freeze, having fun, shooting the shit, and working to bring some sense to the world. This has been the No Cap Zone, where we have a strict dress code. Knock it the hell off with that capping ass bullshit. The only cap that's available that's allowed around these parts, you're thinking cap. Otherwise, miss me with that capping shit. Move the hell around with that capping ass shit. We are not ever content with putting a cap on what humanity is capable of, because we are capable of everything. So let's get to it. Let's bring some sense to the world. Let's help make humanity great. If you think America was great at any point in the past, your standards are pathetic. as fuck. Let's do some shit that's never been done before. Ever. In human history. Now to the Discord we go. Thank y'all for coming through. Love y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. If I don't see y'all, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Holla at your boy, man.